Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm going to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. I did not grab anything to drink and yet again because I'm not thirsty. But I do have my cup mug, so that's important. And you can get your cup mug at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Grab your cup mug. Period. Period.
Mm, Doing my little shimmy. Doing my little shimmy. Mm. Hello, hi. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I finished everything I was drinking other than water. So currently it's just water. Because thankfully today it is under 100 degrees. And I'm very thankful of that.
Love that for you.
Period.
Well, hello guys. It's your favorite Black queer content creator, Kumari, aka Spiking Alien. Yeah, I finished what I was kind of drinking, but it's still some kind of like some ice in there to suck on. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm back. I know it's been a while since you see me on this, Love Island podcast, but I'm excited to be back, especially for a happy occasion. Especially a happy
Mhm.
occasion.
Very happy occasion. And
Happy
we
and
are,
sad at the same time, in the words of Casey Musgraves.
I mean, I'm not sad at all. I'm happy all the
I
way around. Happy all the way around.
Mhm.
But we'll get into all of that. But before we do dive into this episode of episode 27, oh, we had 27 of Love Island. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done so already, please do that because we are here trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year so we can unlock some fun things so we can up our content game for you. So please do that. Subscribe. We appreciate you. Also, or you can subscribe to all of our other channels because we do have three other channels that you can subscribe to who have also adopted the 1,000 new subscribers mission. So click all those links in the link tree and subscribe to this channel. All that's in the description below. You can follow us on all our audio podcast links as well. So you can check us out on the go. Y'all are showing out over there on our audio podcast. So I say thank you. You guys are killing it. Continue to do so. Continue to do so. Listen. Give us, all of those. We appreciate you. And then you can follow us, join our Patreon because we have a lot of fun things going into our Patreon. Our Survivor 50 cast assessment is coming out this weekend. So you might want to go
yes.
and jump and feed and see what we're talking about in there and all of that. And Logan's fan
Basically
is
from
loud.
the vault at this point.
Yeah. And so check all that out as well. And join us, follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and all of that jazz. All right, let's get into it because we are coming off of the fallout from the on business challenge. Feelings are hurt. People are mad. People are anxious. People are upset. So it's
I'm
like,
Hada in the corner.
right. And Huda's in the corner just being Huda, being mad by herself. And you know what? Who
I'm
cares?
doing my
Who
hold
cares at
on.
this
I
point?
got my
I don't
Hada
care.
impression's back, Lana.
Who cares at this point? Who cares at this point why she's mad? Who cares why she's mad? She's mad because people are not people are being mean to me. People are not talking about me. My friends didn't help me. And it's just like, okay, girl, we get it.
I'm
But
sorry.
you
I'm
have to take
sorry,
ownership.
Lana. I'm sorry, Lana. I just really don't want to talk to anyone right now.
I mean, right.
I feel really disrespected, and I just really don't want to talk to anyone right now.
Then why are you here, girl? That
Exactly.
would be me. That would be me.
Girl,
This
why
is
the
why
fuck are
I
you here?
can't do it. This is why I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't
Baby?
do it.
Why the fuck are you still here, Hada? Get
I
the fuck
mean,
out, girl.
my
Bye.
my thing is this: if I feel disrespected by a group of people, I'm
Mhm.
not then going to go sit around those group of people. Why would I do that? because I feel disrespected by all of these girls. And I know people are like, well, this production, they tell them they have to go sit over there. I'm sure she could have left whenever she felt like it.
I
Honestly, I would have just went
to
to the
be there
kitchen.
for it. Well, I'm pretty sure production told her she had to be there for an extended period of time, and she's already on thin ice with production, so she didn't want to. She didn't want
I
to.
mean, and it's fine. She probably had to go over there and sit. I would have sat over there, and I don't know. It just, girl,
Right.
it's just. And but see, it's not just that. It's everything that happened after that with her that just made me so annoyed with her.
Mhm.
Because, like, why are you after you all that you say you don't want to talk, you don't want to talk? Fine, I get it. You're
Mhm.
upset. You are allowed
Of
to be in your
course.
feelings. You are allowed. Her feelings are
Yeah.
valid. She has every right to feel the way she feels. I'm not saying that. But then she goes, and once everybody's finished talking, and we'll come back to the conversation. But she goes back and she goes into the makeup room and she's slamming things and she slamming stuff and then she walking out and she huffing and puffing. Girl, girl, girl. And
The
you're
five
emotionally
G's, Hada. Good
you-
God, get a grip, girl.
you're emotionally mature. Are you?
Where?
Where, honey? I just can't. I just can't. But going back to the conversation with the girls, because everybody's trying to debrief of what just happened in the standing in business game. And Alandria's like, I don't know who that man think he is, but he just like here's what I did have an issue with Alandria. I will say this. I was like, Alandria, sweetheart, my love, my darling, darling angel, I love you with all of my heart and soul. You will always be my number one client. There's nothing you can do or say that'll make me turn on you ever.
Mhm.
But you don't owe Clark nothing, and she don't owe you nothing. You don't have to give
Right.
Clark no advice because,
Right.
baby, you
Mhm.
didn't even take the hints that he was giving. So if you couldn't catch the revelation that he didn't like you, what makes you think you have the right to tell Clark to keep her eyes open on Taylor because he was flipping on that? Like, you don't have that.
Mm,
You don't have that right.
mm. Yeah, I agree on that. It's like I love her down. Like I love her down. Like I think her crash out was valid, and at the
Yeah.
same time, valid at the same time. I think even though Taylor thought apparently he found his man balls the last episode because clearly he didn't have any no shade, but all team no shade. At the moment, he literally said, "I love Clark. I want to be your Clark." Okay, and that ain't key guard that he is done with you. I don't know what is. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, no, that's she know that, and that's the
Did
thing.
she-
She knows it. She's clear. When he
Yeah,
said that, he made it very clear, and like, I appreciate him making it very clear. I wish he would have made it
Finally.
clear
been clear
3
since the
days
get
ago.
go.
He should
The
have made
get
it clear
go.
2 weeks
But
ago. He should have made it clear when Jalen was there that he wasn't attracted or physically attracted to Landry because he
Mhm.
said that week 2. He said that week too. He knew. And that is the problem with Taylor. And Taylor refuses to think that that is why people don't like him. And that is why Alandria crashed out on him. It wasn't because you picked Clark. You had every right to
Mhm.
pick Clark. You did
Exactly.
what you needed to do for your own heart and your own journey in
That's
this way.
right. Exactly. It's the
The
way you went
fact
about
of
it.
the matter is the way you went about it and how you moved was real weird.
Where it was
And
very
she
weird.
it was very, very weird. And you can't move that way and expect her
Exactly.
heart not to be in the matter because she was working to try to keep that relationship. She was working to try to hold on to the little things that you gave her. You breadcrumbed her from beginning to up until that point you dumped her. You breadcrumbed her. You poured it on thick when Jalen was in the villa. You made dates. You did all this stuff. You're kissing on her. You're touching on her. You're hugging. What else you think
Mhm.
she gonna believe? And then after the fact, when she gets to Casa, back from Casa, you're like, oh well, I still want to explore the both of you. I'm gonna ping pong back and forth between the both of you. You should have told her the minute she walked in and you knew your connection with Clark was stronger than hers, that it was it. Logan, your fan. It's too loud. Sorry. But yes, it's just like he should have told her that from the get-go. Like as soon as he knew, that's when you tell folks. And I think if he would have just told her that day she got back from
Yeah.
Costa, we would have had a whole nother story around here, a whole nother situation going on around here because she would have been like, okay, I can process. He don't want me. Now I have to officially. move on. And she would know that. But no, that's not what that punk did. He was just like, oh no, I'm gonna ping pong between the both of you. I want to explore the both of you. And he was still talking about exploring the both of them even after the heart rate challenge.
And that's not fair to either one of them. Make a
No.
grow balls because you don't fucking have any, and make a
No,
goddamn
no.
decision like a man instead of looking like a fucking pathetic boy.
It's like it's
That's why you
ridiculous.
came last in every fucking ranking tonight, Taylor. Learn something
Right.
from this.
But you know you're not because he just think, oh, I'm being
No.
punished because I picked Clark. It has
No, it's
nothing to
nothing to
do with
do
you pick
with
Clark.
that.
Pick Clark
Let
all day. Pick Clark 20 more times. Nobody cares.
like let's be real. Like even America, like all Tina straight tell you would have been like honest for that. Let me as for real. We were not had not been upset with your decision had you not just told the truth and be honest. I feel
But
like
he
yeah, she might have would have felt a type of wet, but guess what? She probably would have been like, you know what? He- It's
he
fine.
said
We
what he
don't.
said.
Yeah. So but you kept on trying to like what I can't even think of the word, but like oh,
Playing. You
edge it
kept
on.
playing. You
Yeah,
kept edging it.
edging it on. Exactly. That's an issue.
And the problem is, Taylor, the problem is nobody's mad at you for choosing Clark. We don't like
Nobody's
how you
mad.
move. And
Yeah.
he knows. If Alandria moved like he moved in this villa, he would have been
Hmm.
gone. And he mad because she spoke facts when
Let's be
that was a bar.
real.
That was a bar she dropped when she said, if I moved like you moved, you would have been gone a long time ago. Because
Exactly.
all it would have took for her to keep that door locked for him and had her door open for Jalen. That's all it would have took. And
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
he would have been on the chopping block, but I think he still probably would have been there because they would have sent her to home.
Yep.
Yep.
But
Hmm.
you played in that girl's face and you wondering why she mad. And then he's sitting around a fire put talking about some, the only person who can cuss at me like that is my mama and my wife, and she ain't neither. Boy, bye.
If
If
you
you
don't
don't
shut
get,
the
you don't
fuck
shut up
up.
talking. Get up out of here. You
Oh my
don't
god,
shut up.
I really want to slap him so bad to that TV. I really did. I really wanted to. But the Lord said, "Just no, don't break your TV. Don't break your TV. It's okay. It's
It's
okay.
so
He
annoying.
ain't worth that. He
He
ain't
He is
worth
ain't worth
not.
breaking a
it. He is
TV.
not. He is
But he
not.
is so frustrating. He is so frustrating. And I'm like, bruh, calm it down. Calm it
Hmm.
down. Wait, I'll just do this because I'm gonna pull it up so we can talk about everybody. Cause yeah. hmm Too many people in this villa. Too many goddamn bodies in this villa. I'm just gonna say this right now. But we got a good dumping tonight, so that did knock it down some. But still, too many people in this villa. Um, we see I'm trying. Oh, what else happened that night? Besides Hood slamming doors and man,
Amaya.
Maya crying by
Mhm.
herself. Oh, baby,
Like, let me tell
baby.
you, like, I relate to Amaya, even though I'm still single as fuck. I mean, like, I'm her. Like, I put my emotions on my sleeve. I am emotionally person. Like, I don't blame her. At the end of the day, I want someone, and for me, and for my like, when I have someone, and like to be, like, you know what I mean. Like, I want someone who's also emotional as me, as far as like loving. You know what I mean? Like, like these man, like. Are y'all really scared of being emotional or crying or just doing anything that's emotional? Like that, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Like I don't understand what is the problem of her being so emotional, her doing these loving things. Like what is the issue with that? Like I don't understand what
Because
these
men are
these men
scared of
is
women they can't control.
that is crazy.
Okay, but
Y'all
there's a
so insecure.
but like she's not asking them to be emotional. She's just
Exactly.
emotional. What you need to do is support her emotions. And it's
Right.
like you don't even want to do that. Like it's too much for you. And that just tells me what kind of man you are. If it's too much for you to support someone when they're being emotional, then you really don't, you're just really not ready for a relationship because relationships are emotional. Relationships cause all kind of different
Yeah.
emotions in people. So if
Hmm.
you're not ready to support your partner who you claim to like or love, then you ain't ready for a relationship. You have to support in all ways, in all different emotions. When they're happy, when they're sad, when they're upset, when they're
But they're
feeling
not.
down, and
Hmm.
they just don't want to
Mo-
do that.
most of these men here are under the age of 27. Therefore, their frontal lobes are not fully developed. They are not capable of love. As we've talked about this entire season, Lana, this is not Love Island. This is Brand Deal Island.
This is Influencer Island. This is we want 15 minutes of fame island. This is we want brand deal island. We want these people are here to play games and they're here for and like I said, I have come to the conclusion a very long time ago, like week 3, that we are not going to have a genuine couple leave this island. There's not
No.
going to be one genuine couple that leaves this island. Everybody who leaves this island are going to go out, find their brand deals, try to get what they can get out of the deal, and move on. We're not going to have any of these people who we're talking about next year, like, oh, they're still together. Oh, they're engaged. We're not going to have anybody from season 7 do
Mm-mm.
that. We're not having that. And it's sad to say, but it's
Yeah.
not happening. But um just everybody goes through their conversations and shocked about, I did agree with Shelly on one thing that she did. Like, I agree with Shelly on everything, but I agree with Shelly on this one thing. I wish Ace would not have put their business out on these cards when they could just simply have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Um,
Like, y'all could have conversations, y'all in a couple, just pull each other
Mm-hmm.
and talk. You
It's
don't
a
have
punk
mm-hmm.
move.
it was very like, ew.
Ew.
Why would you put
Yeah.
your business out like that in front of everybody when you
Yes.
don't have to? Even though that's the challenge, I
Yeah.
feel
Mm-hmm.
like for couples, that shouldn't be
Yeah.
the challenge. You should
Mm-hmm.
want your business
Yeah.
and like that out there for the challenge. But
Yeah.
I didn't like that. And Shelly didn't like that. And I was like, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I also say, Shelly, if you were to stop acting up and make up your mind and y'all just
It,
gonna
pick
lock it
what
in
you
like y'all
want.
want,
What you
like y'all
want.
need to
Yeah.
lock it in like y'all both
Yeah.
want to do anyway, we wouldn't be having this
Mm-hmm.
problems anyway. So you and Ace
Yeah.
both too pig-headed and stubborn
Yeah.
to just lock in what you both want.
Mm-hmm.
And now y'all
Mm-hmm.
sitting there looking at each other like, well, what you want to do? I don't know what you want to do. Well,
Right.
what you want to do? I
But
don't
what
know
you
what you want
want
to
to
do.
do isn't necessarily what you're gonna
Wanna do.
do.
God.
But
And
also,
Mm-hmm.
Lana, I want to
yes,
shout out. Mortician Death finally made a live stream.
period, period,
Oh my god,
Yay.
period.
welcome. I was
Thank you,
like,
thank you.
I know them. Hey.
Love, love, love that you made the live stream. But
Beautiful.
yeah, it's crazy because
It's stupid.
they both being so stubborn for no reason at all. No reason at all. But whatever. They go to bed that night. Everybody's drained because this was a draining experience. They're all drained. They just want to go to bed. We have Amaya. Well, Grayson is still upset about the question that Pepe got, and everybody's talking about it. And they're like, whoever wrote that question is a pussy. Whoever wrote that, that's what Amaya says. Amaya says that. Let's be clear. Amaya says that. But they're just like, we want to know who wrote it, and they're not even being, they're not being, strong enough to say who wrote it. Whoever wrote it, this should, pussy, they should da 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 da. Da. And Huda is walking around, and in that moment when she was in the makeup room and they flashed to Huda, I said, "Ooh, Huda wrote that, did she? Huda wrote
Oh,
that."
the editing makes it seem like they were trying to implicate Miss Hutta in that situation.
And then when they get to bed, they didn't have to implicate because Huda goes to Chris and says, "Ah, don't tell anybody. Keep this between me and you. But I wrote the question about Pepe." And everybody's saying whoever wrote this is a pussy. And I don't know. I'm mad. I'm like, girl, well, you should have wrote it. You should have banded up and woman up and said it. I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Stand on business. That's what we doing. Stand
Yeah.
on business.
Stand on
And you should have
business.
stood on business. Like, you know what? I did. I wrote
Well,
it.
as we talked about in a previous live, Lana, she can't stand up tall enough to see above the divider in the shower. So I didn't really expect her to be able to really stand on business that much.
No, but she called herself standing on business when she was up there at the podium. Why couldn't she stand on business when she
Mm.
was questioned about who wrote the question?
I
And tech
mean,
and
she wants to
just
stand on
to
her
stand
own
on it.
business, but not stand on other people's
It's
business.
like it just that's how it is. Technically when it came to because technically mostly like in that moment he was talking to Sierra, Shelly, Launch especially Sierra when it came to why they say Hannah home. So technically you weren't gonna meet in our classroom anyway, but you would have been like, you know what, just keep it real. Like, yeah, I understand. Actually, it actually gave it answers that Gracie needed from Pepe, no shade, but but also at the same time, you're being scared. You're being scared. But as soon as I love her down, but as soon as Alondra and Gerald business up between you or Chris Kiss, like, oh, but like, why would you do that? Da, 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 da. But it's like, keep that same energy though. That's the problem with her.
My thing
She,
is, I saw a TikTok earlier today that just
mhm,
really made me go, put everything. Somebody put all the pieces of Huda contradicting what she's saying now and what she
exactly.
did. Like, don't air out my business. That's not your place to tell. First of all, don't you ever tell Alondra what her place is. That's number one. You don't ever tell Alondra what her place is, because her place is wherever she wants it to be. That's number one. Number two, you're like, you shouldn't air out my business, da 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 da. Da. But I recall you airing out a private conversation between you and Jeremiah when Iris was in the business, and you went and told everybody in front of everybody what Jeremiah said about Iris. Airing
Mm,
out business, that's not your place to tell. But because you're mad, you can do that and it's acceptable. So I really, really feel that this girl needs to realize that she is being very much hypocritical and contradicting herself on every level. It's just a challenge. It's just a challenge. B, if you don't get off here right now, hello? Is that
Back
making any
then.
sense? Is it right? Hello?
hello.
Hello? She's not a
Uh,
girl's girl. Like, stop it. Stop playing. Stop playing. So, but she feels a certain way because she's out. She knows that everybody thinks if she it comes out that she asked that question, they be like, "You a little punk because you ain't say nothing." But whatever.
because
And
she is.
absolutely, look, we're gonna put a little pin in that because I got to come back to that for another reason later on. But
Mm.
so everybody go to bed. Everybody wake up. Everybody's great. Everybody's like, oh, I mean, they're not great. It's still a little down, still a little
Oh,
drained.
the opposite of great. Everyone's like, "Oh, how are you doing today?" Not good. Are you
Not
doing better
good.
today? No.
No, no, they're still
No
very
one is
drained.
speaking.
It's just like, let's
I'm
just go
like,
on about the day. That took a lot out of everybody.
I was like,
That,
damn, okay,
yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
I mean, you know what? It was so funny. Ace and Shelly remind me of that old married couple that is in the middle of a fight, but you still do the stuff that you're supposed to do for
Yeah,
that person. Like you, like
Mhm.
I'm mad at you, but here go breakfast and a flower, but whatever. And
right.
it's just like,
Right,
okay,
exactly.
it's that
It's
thing.
like,
Like,
ah, right, I don't fuck with you right now, but also, here's your
here's your
laundry, I did it for you.
right, here's your protein shake, and I folded your clothes, and your keys are right there. Like, it's like
Have
you
a good day
still
at
just
work, fuck
right,
you.
right. Have a good day. Kiss on the cheek
Mhm.
and move on. Like,
Mhm.
we still mad at you, but I'm still gonna be the support system that I'm supposed to be for you. And
Mhm.
Right.
I kind of live for that. I'll be honest. I kind of, kind of,
I do.
I do
It's
kind of
cute.
live for that. It's very
It's
cute.
cute.
We see him bring her breakfast. We see a whole lot. We see Huda coming in with her breakfast, sit down for a second, and then leave because nobody says anything to her. So then she goes downstairs and eat in the speakeasy by herself.
Well,
And I was
Joy.
like, girl, she is one of those people who who I don't particularly care for, who is mad and wants to be mad and wants you to know they're mad, and then they'll come sit by you and go, "Ah," and look at you.
Ah.
Yeah.
"Ah," and they'll look at you waiting for you to say, girl, what's wrong? Girl, everything is wrong. Nobody wants to talk to me and like, girl, no.
Ah. Everything is wrong.
It's so
Everything is just.
nobody talks to me, and it's so dramatic.
Everybody hates me.
And she's waiting for you to say, girl, no, nobody hates you.
Everybody hates me.
See, I would be that girl, be like, you're right, everybody does hate you, and it's your problem, it's your problem for doing.
What?
And I would have walked away. You'd be sitting there crying.
What?
Because I don't care. I can't do that. I need my peace, and you are
I
interrupting
don't
my
need
whole
this
peace.
blanket right now. Jesus Christ.
But after that, her and Alandra go upstairs to have a conversation. And
Was
yeah,
it a conversation?
What's the conversation? They look because all of these people who were on this internet just the other night calling Alandria a mean girl and how she's so mean and how she just shouldn't be saying this, da 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 da. The first thing Alandria did was say, "Listen, I wanted to make sure that we are cool. I know I shouldn't have said, maybe I shouldn't have aired out your business, but I
Hmm.
felt like if we're trying to be girls, girls, and we want to, I don't understand why we moving sneakily when it comes to Chris. When you said you brought him back for Shelly, and you did this for her, but you were did state your interest as well. Like, yeah, and so she apologized to her. Now we got people on this internet talking about, it wasn't genuine.
Now here's my it's the problem. Like
Y'all
I just
don't.
like Alondra admitted like her mistake, and she's like, I'll make sure you're cool. And here's my problem. I think it takes one thing for a black woman to make a mistake that y'all want to over exaggerate it, and that is what pisses me the hell out. How is that being a bully? How is that amiga? I can tell you what a bully is because I used to be bullied in high school. That is not what a bully is.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it really irks my soul that it takes one thing for a black woman to do. I was like, oh, cancel her,
Like
drag
they were
her, oh,
waiting.
put her, get her out the villa.
They've been
Like
waiting.
it's pathetic.
They were waiting. They were
Pathetic.
waiting for a moment to turn on Alandria and turn on Shelly, and they found this moment and they ran
Yeah.
with it, and they ran with it, and it was just like there's nothing. It's like okay, whatever. But she apologized. Huda accepted the apology. Huda
Exactly.
apologized. They hugged it out. So why are we still holding on to it? Because we don't know these people. And if Hood is okay with it, and Alondra is okay with it, if Alandra is okay with it, and Will Hood is okay with it, then why are we worried about it?
Why do we
Hello,
care?
why do
They
we
move
care?
on. Deal with
When
it.
they moved on, we move on. So they both. Alandra said her piece. Huda accepted her piece and said her piece. And she was like, it hurt that I felt like I was alone. Alandra said, I don't want you to ever feel alone because we are cool. You confide in me. I confide in you. I think we're good. I apologize for what I said and my misstep. That was, that was not necessary. And that they hugged it out. They said they love each other and they moved on. So in my eyes, everything's Gucci with them. It's
Right.
Gucci. Uh,
So then,
Huda
so then why are people talking about it?
Why are people still making think pieces and having live chats for hours and hours and hours on TikTok about how Alandria, Shelly, and Sierra are mean girls? And they just be bullying poor Huda. Like, let it go. Let it go. We already acknowledged that what Alandria did might not have been the best thing. It was not, I understand her reasoning why she did it, but maybe it wasn't her business to say. And I get that. But if the person apologized and the other person accepts the apology and they all forgive each other, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Having a parasocial relationship with a show that none of us will ever be on, but want to be on for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Say that.
That's what we're doing.
Say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because then
I
I'm
don't
just gonna
ever want to
go.
be on it. Y'all are too delusional, and I'm not talking about either one of y'all, but I'm talking to y'all. Y'all are too delusional thinking that you have the personality or the charisma or whatever to actually get on this show when you have nothing of the sort. So you create your own parasocial relationships with the show. Some
Mm-hmm.
even go as far as to lie and say they were, cast on the show or whatever you have it. Point being, y'all are too obsessed with this show and need to take a step back and realize that this show is not your entire personality trait.
Work.
Anyway,
We then have a conversation with um with Huda and Shelly finally talk, which this conversation should have happened a very long time ago. But
this conversation should have happened 4,207 years ago.
the conversation needed to happen yesterday, but I get Shelly trying to protect her peace. I understand it.
Yes.
And if she was
I don't blame
aggravated
you,
and she
man.
was like, I don't blame her because Huda is draining. And so sometimes you need to
It
protect
is.
that. But they have their conversation. Now, this is why I laughed because Huda apologized. Shelly accepted her apology, and that was it.
I surely
And
didn't
And
even
that was
apologize.
it.
Shelly was not apologized because Shelly said, everything I said was valid. Everything I said was true. I have nothing to apologize to you for. But I will accept your apology. I understand that you went too far, and I accept that, and I appreciate that you would never do that again. And I was like, "Ooh."
Period. Clock that tea.
And I loved it. I said, Shelly kind of ate for me in that one. She was just like, "Oh, I accept your
And that's
apology. I really appreciate it."
all I have to say on the matter because that's what happened. Period.
Pretty
That's
much.
it. I mean, I don't know what you wanted from me. I'm not apologizing for something I didn't do wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I said everything right. Mm.
Period.
So I laughed. I chuckled. I giggled. I was kicking my feet like, girl, get it, Shelly. Tell him again. Tell her again. But Hunter accepted it and she hugged it out. They are as friendly as they could be. Shelly was like, maybe not as where it was at the beginning, but we're working back on that and we're cool.
Mhm.
So maybe it is
Work.
what it is. It is what it is.
Work.
Oh, Pepe, Pepe, Pepe.
Oh,
Mm.
that's where we're going next.
Pepe, Pepe, Pepe. Let's talk about you for a second. You know, I admire Pepe for his honesty.
True.
I appreciate him for his honesty. I think he did try to go into this whole thing with Grayson with an open heart and an open mind. He tried, but there was no spark. He felt
No.
nothing. He didn't feel anything. He still has Hannah on the brain, and I don't care what he says. He can't sit there and like it's not Hannah. It's not Hannah. After those questions in that stand on business game, it was so Hannah. It's all about Hannah. Hannah put that thing on him, and he just can't let it go.
Oh, child.
Hannah said,
That's my girl. That's my hometown
You
girl.
know what? I'm gonna say actually no shade. When it came to majority of these couples we broken up, all to no shade. Why don't the other person does not just decide to just go leave with them?
That's
That's
what I
my
be
question.
saying.
I'm like
I
Pepe
have
no
one person
shade.
because
It,
this is not Love Island this season, Kamorian. It is Influencer Island. It is
I
Brand
don't
Deal
give a
Island.
crap
It is
no shade.
$50,000 before taxes Island.
I don't.
It's
Until we get to Iris at the end of the episode, I'm gonna say all tea no shade. If someone, if you know that all tea no shade, there's gonna be no other connection for you than one you had. Like you like, like we're
but
tied,
you
we're
knew it
locked
was
in.
Because it is
because
Brand Deal Island. This
you
is
trying to stay there as long
Influencer
as you can. That's all they trying to stay as far as they can get to the end, as close as they get. But see here, we'll talk about Iris in a minute. But Pepe knew he was not feeling nobody else. He could have left right after Casa. Like he could have
Like
been like, you know what?
literally.
Like y'all, I'm just gonna get out of here because this ain't the place for me. I don't think I'm gonna find no other connection. My heart and my head is with Hannah. I'm finna go out there and see if something is with her. I'm finna go. He could have left after that, and that way
Mm.
Grayson would have been able to explore the other Casa boys that came in, and started talking to other people, and it would have been fine. But no, 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 no. This man holds on. He holds on and he holds on just to get to this point and say, "Hey, girl, ain't no spark. Ain't no spark between us. I tried, so I'm just gonna have to let it go." And Grayson is like, "What the what?
Why is it my
Where?
time?
Where's this coming from? Like, why are you like? You couldn't have told me this before." And he like, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm so sorry. And he just walks away. And he
I'm
like, can I get a
so
hug?
I'm so mad for this
Mm.
girl.
I'm mad.
This girl did not do a single fucking thing wrong. I am so mad for Grayson.
Oh my girl, I feel bad. I feel bad for her. And I felt bad because I know what I saw, how people were voting in those polls before any of this happened. Because
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
polls was out before the stand up business challenge. So that is
Yes.
why a lot of people the votes look like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, and like, come here. I voted. It's like on Tuesday. Like, hold on, wait. Something ain't right. Okay, like all it made no sense to me. I was like, oh Lord, like it's crazy.
But the way the votes were is because they voted 2 days ago. And this happened for them 24, 48 hours ago. So we kind of, because like they 2 days ahead of us. We get a.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so all the stuff that we're seeing, like if I would have saw what I saw before this, like during the stand on business, it would have been a lot of people that have been shifted. Like, nah, you ain't gonna be up here. I'm
Oh,
not putting you up here.
I still didn't put Pepe that high.
I mean, I'm not just Pepe. It would have been other people as well. Like I would have
Agreed.
shifted a lot of people after if I watched the Standing on Business challenge first before the poll
Yeah.
before I voted on these polls. But he just hugged her and walked away, and she is just dumbfounded. She go to Clark and she's just crying like he just broke up with me. Like we weren't even really together, and he just broke up with me. Like I've been putting my all into trying to, build this connection. And he's just like, it's not Hannah, it's not Hannah. But no, we all know it's Hannah.
Baby, it is Hannah.
It's Hannah.
It's Hannah. And he should have just said that. Like, but he can't say that because he knows he ain't going nowhere. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
leaving. So he needs to make sure it was another person who would come and warm his bed up to keep him to he get to Hannah. I can't. I can't. It's just I was like, oh, Pepe, that was kind of he got the nerve to go down to Nick and somebody else, I think it was TJ, talking about some I think she took it well. What?
Huh?
What? Were we in the same conversation? Pepe, come on. Come on, Pepe. Come on, Pepe. Okay, Pepe. Moving on. Oh, Zach, Kay, and Amaya. My girl
Oh.
stood on business, and I was here for it because Amaya Papaya said, "Look here, no more crying, no more tears." Because that Kay, you are acting weird, and you're moving very weird right now. Because
Mm-hmm.
what in the world? What in the world do you mean? What do you mean? You didn't want to kiss her in Casa, but you felt that you just needed to, and you didn't want to because when she asked for the kiss. If this was the real world, you would have been like, nah, nah, nah. I said, bro, then why
Now
couldn't you ask for the real world?
it's like
But if we go back to that conversation, he did look like he didn't want to say yes. He
hit.
did look like he didn't want to say yes.
I don't give a god mother. I don't care. Here's my thing. My problem with him is anything. If you want to be honest from the get go, here's the problem with thing with Kim, that Ace, Austin, and him. They were not straight up front honest with her. Right in the get. I mean, I think Ace was actually honest, but what Austin and Zach didn't do, they didn't tell her straight up. They're like, "Oh, you're good, you're fine," but then when it came to that challenge, she finally wanted to be like, "Oh, but like, I don't like the way you do this." Da, 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 da. But you didn't tell her though.
Okay, here's my thing, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate for just a second, and not to be on Zach's side because I never will be. Um, what he did in Casa, he messed up. He could have told her then what his boundaries were. Because he was like, do you mind if I call you babe? Da, da, da. He was like, no, because I call people darling and sweetheart, da, da, da. He said, I do that too, so it's fine. So he could have said that. But his problem wasn't that the fact that she calls him babe or nothing like that. His problem was the fact that she wanted to be like booed up, coupled up right away. And that was his thing. Now he did kind of like he was, like, but he went on and did it anyway. So there's a problem. The second problem is though, when Maya tried to have a conversation with him before the stand on business challenge, it wasn't a conversation. It was Amaya talking and talking and talking, and Zach trying to talk, and she kept talking over him. So he was trying to tell her all of this stuff before the challenge, but she was just talking over him. So then I was like, Amaya, I get it. I understand you're upset because he could have told you, but when was he supposed to tell you that when you were talking over him and then you stormed off? You were talking over him and then you stormed off. So he didn't have a chance to tell you. I love Amaya Papaya. And I think everything she
And
does
we
is
agreed
is
on this. We agreed on
yeah,
this
we
on
agreed on this
Wednesday for
yesterday
sure. Yeah.
because she did not let that man talk in the conversation that she's claiming that he could have told her. Because when was he supposed to tell her when she was talking? And I said, and I get, we know Amaya does that because she did it to Shelly. She did it to Ace. She does it to everybody she talks to. She doesn't let people talk. And I fear she is going to need to learn that lesson if she really wants a strong connection, because everybody wants to be heard in the relationship, and they can't do that if you're constantly talking over them. I love Amaya Papaya. I think she has this is her game to lose at this point, because it doesn't matter who she gets with at this point. Everybody will vote for Amaya Papaya at this point, because we like ain't nobody else we want to vote for to win at this point. But if she wants a strong real relationship, she is going to have to learn to listen, talk less, listen more, have a real two-way conversation, not a one-way conversation, because nothing to get solved, because all it is like, you're not hearing me, you're not hearing me, you're not hearing me, and I'm talking, and then when they're trying to talk, you talking over 'em, nothing's getting solved. So that is Amaya's problem. He tried to tell her, she didn't listen, and now she's mad when he brought it up, because that was the only time he could bring it up. Now, is he right for bringing it up? Absolutely not, because you are in a couple with her. You should have been the one supporting her, instead of letting these two
Mhm.
men pile on top of her, and then you add to
Mhm.
the dog pile. That
Exactly.
was wrong. But
Mhm.
if we go call out his wrongs, we got to call out her wrongs too. She needs to learn how to not talk over people and have a real conversation, because it didn't matter if he was trying to tell her or not. He couldn't get a word in edgewise. So I ain't gonna sit here and just be like Amaya is all right, and everything is she did it right. No, 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 absolutely not.
Mhm.
She has to learn to listen.
I told y'all he was this kind of man. I'm not
I,
saying
I,
y'all. I'm not saying y'all here. I'm saying y'all, the public.
I don't know this
I
man.
knew
I
he
ain't
was
never
this
seen
kind of
this.
man.
I ain't never seen this man before to this point, but
I
he, he
have,
he's
I
moving
have.
weird. He's moving weird. He's moving odd, and I feel
because
like
he is
Yeah.
weird.
and he should have told her from the get go. Like he should have waited for that conversation, not do that challenge. He should
Mhm.
have stood up for her, and made sure Ace and Austin piped down, and then
Well, he
Mhm.
after
can't
the
stand
chat.
that tall either, so he can't stand
He
on
doesn't. I don't
business.
see. Okay. He should have piped down. He should have had them pipe down, and then be like, "Okay, am I afterwards? Let me pull you for a chair. Let's talk about it. This is what I was trying to say. This is what I think." Like he didn't need to. He didn't need to be the third pal into that situation, because it hurt her, and she was crying by herself, and nobody wants to see Amaya Papaya cry by herself. But the conversation that they just had, where Maya was like, "Look here, you're moving weird, because if you didn't want to kiss me, you should have just said that." And he was like, "I should have, but I didn't hold my boundaries," and blah blah blah. And
Mhm.
she's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, absolutely not. That's you know what? I don't want to talk to you no more." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Absolutely, Amaya."
but you know what this could be the emergence of? Briar Maya Papaya.
Possibly.
I would like to see it.
I'm not mad at it if it happens.
Yeah, I can see it being a good possibility. I really glad that he defended her when it came to that, especially and also it also like I also agree with Brian when he said that like like from like the Hispanic community, they're like very loving people. That's how they communicate with that ways, especially when it
Yeah,
comes to love in general. So it makes sense why she is that case. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm glad. And I think he did say he did have kind of like interest in her. I
He
think so.
does. He
He does.
does.
Yeah,
He
he does.
does.
So
They
The
they
first
both
look
do.
at they have first look shows that he definitely is interested in talking to her, and she's interested in talking to him. But I
And
also well
mhm.
we'll hold on,
yeah,
we'll get to that, uh but what funniest part of that whole scene with Amaya and Zach was Jaden off at the side. Jaden was sitting there, was like, "Oh, I know what he's saying. He makes me sick. I'm gonna push him in the pool. Can't stand him."
I love her.
It's like,
I
Ah,
love her. I
how about
love her
Daddy
so
Me
much.
too?
the
Girl,
girl.
all of us. Jaden is all of us.
He's like, how dare he?
How
What?
dare
Girl,
he? How dare he?
how
Like,
how
how
did she
dare
end up
he?
in the bottom three of voting? I do not
Could,
understand.
could we get to that? Can we get to that point? We ain't even there yet. We ain't there yet. I'm jumping the gun. I just no. I love her. I do agree with you. I don't know why she got there. I don't. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I
Mhm.
do. I know why she got there because honestly, people don't know her. And editors did not do her any justice in these few episodes that she was on. They didn't show her enough. We don't know her. And she was with Austin.
Yeah,
She was
that
with Austin.
that was the deal breaker. I can see why that was kind of deal
That
breaker.
she was with Austin. And it was like everybody tunes out conversation that anytime Austin is in it. She's a great person. I think she would have been fun on the show with her quirkiness and her little, quirks that she has about her. But she was with Austin. She chose that. She chose that. She had a chance to get with Nick, and she chose that. Um, she chose that. And so it's like, okay, now you got to deal with the consequences of being with Austin. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. Like, wow. Anything else? Anything else that happened before we get to the Maybelline challenge?
There was nothing else that really happened, so no.
You want to talk about the Maybelline challenge, Logan?
Uh, Sponsored challenges, joy,
Maybelline,
privilege,
get on swag,
close-ups
Maybelline.
on makeup because that's absolutely how we hold a makeup brush. Whoa. Yeah, this was dumb. I hated the way they did this. It was fleshed out for no reason. Like, okay, let's have them organize each other by the ranking we think they are, just for them to be told that they're wrong every time. I love when they're wrong every time.
But I'm gonna say personally, my highlight, I think this person, the see of mine is like, you know what, that we love her so much.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace, hater fan or I1, hater or I1, hater or I1. That bitch is like confused. He's
He
like,
was so
how?
confused.
And then
Right.
seeing him on the lower side on total pole, he's like, oh wow, damn, damn. Like Ace, baby, but I think I'll figure out why. You know why, Ace? I feel like I will like Ace more if he was not just like so strategic. That's the problem. Like, he wanted to be the ring. Like, he want to control. Pretty much, he want to control the island, the villa. I don't like that. And the way he
Here's the
moves. And you're a
here's
hater.
and you're a hater. Here's the thing. Love Island is not Big Brother. Love Island
Exactly.
is not the traders. I don't want strategic players on Love Island. I want you to be natural and vulnerable and falling in love. I don't watch Love Island for strategic plays. And Ace is trying to play a strategic game in the villa, and it shows, and it's not watchable. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. He probably would have been at the bottom of the totem pole if Taylor wasn't such a scumbag himself.
Hmm.
But
I
it's just
put I
like
put Eighth at the bottom.
I put Taylor at the bottom of everything. I put Taylor at the bottom of
I al-
everything.
I alternated between Ace and Taylor at the bottom of everything. It was really just how I was feeling in that moment, whether I put Ace or Taylor at the bottom.
I
Not
put
your
Taylor.
fire, not the fireworks going off.
Yep, I put Taylor at the bottom of everything. It was Taylor, then Ace, and then Austin in between. Like just at the bottom of it all. I'll be honest. But all this I didn't mind the challenge. I just thought it was ridiculous. Like, okay. Um, yeah, we just put everybody into place. Come to find out, oh no, you're wrong. And this is what America really thinks.
Yeah,
It's funny to see that they feel like they show that what's happened inside the villa is not what we're seeing. And so I like people like, whoa, what is America seeing? Like when Taylor was at the bottom of everything, Clark was like,
I
what
need
are they seeing that I'm not seeing?
I need another line from Alandria next episode that's like, America done got us fucked up again.
Right.
I'm like,
Again.
I need another classic Alandria line.
A-
Like,
absolutely. And it's just like But I think the one that like threw people, that just threw them, was who was the most genuine girl and trustworthy, or genuine girl, and they had Amaya Papaya first,
Period.
Ira second, and Alandria third. And that was the way it went for everything. For the ones
Everything.
that we saw, it was Amaya first, Ira
Iris
second,
second.
Alandria
Landry
third.
third.
And when they put Alandria down at 8 for trustworthy or keeping a secret, and I was
Given
like,
what had just
just
happened,
happened. Right. I was like, I see
I
why
get
y'all
it.
did that, but America
Mhm.
don't see it that way. And especially
Yeah,
because we voted 2 days before that happened. So,
true.
but
Um, I
I
would say
l-
I. Oh, go ahead.
I'm about to say I just love seeing Ace talk about stuff, seeing Amaya get all the love. It was like that was not on
Yeah.
my parlay. I was like, yeah, because you're a trash person to
Hmm.
her. You are a trash human being to her, and now you see America loves her. So what do you think they think about you? Mm,
Yeah, so definitely I like I think I see what I think what production did was they mixed the votes from I think the one we had happened earlier and the one from like recently because I think when it came to Shelly and her ratings, I was like, oh, I can see why she's that low because what just happened. But like when it came to the boys, I'm like, Zach is the most genuine. Now, why are we lying now? So I don't know. I feel like it kind of mixed. I don't know. Production was kind of I don't know the way it went. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think these votes were rigged. I just think the timing of when we voted, Zach was
Yeah,
a people like Zach at the time
Yeah.
we voted because he had
yeah,
picked Amaya. He brought her out.
We
She came
loved
to the.
Zach at the
We
moment
love Zach
because
at
of
the
yeah,
yeah.
moment
yeah,
because of
yeah.
that. So that is why these
Now,
votes look the
yeah,
way
I
they
see that.
look. That's why Pepe was at the top of of a lot of rankings because at the time we voted, we didn't see any of this other stuff. Now, if we would have voted yesterday, or
It would have been
or
much
well,
different.
Wait, wait, much
after the stand on
different.
your business
Exactly.
challenge, it would be so different.
Like I
But
think TJ would have been a lot higher in some of the voting just by
yeah,
proxy because I think some of the other guys would have been lower. Like I think Nick probably would have been a little bit higher on the
yeah,
boys side. I think Brian would have been a little bit higher by
Brian would have been way
proxy.
higher. Brian would have been way higher
Brian would have been way
Mhm.
higher. I think Chris probably would have been at the top of most
where
things.
he
I'm really
was.
I
glad.
think it would have been one. I think he probably would have been one for
Well,
everything.
Chris would have been number one, is what I'm saying, instead of
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pepe for
instead
most
of
things.
number
Chris
two.
was number
Yeah,
two for most
Chris was
things,
two for everything.
which I love because I voted
it was
Chris for number
accurate for
one for most
me.
things.
All right.
Yeah, I voted Chris number one for most things. It was like Chris, Brian, and Nick for most things for me.
Hmm. But
But
I seeing that how that all played out. Everybody was just like shocked about America's choices. But a lot of people like, I wonder what America is seeing that we are not seeing. And I think it got a
a
lot of people
lot.
starting to think. I think they're starting to think about some things. But um seeing Adrena at the bottom, how they put Adrena at the bottom for not genuine, I was like, I
I
wouldn't
was
have put her
really
there.
I had her like third or fourth for genuine specifically,
I
but
think she was like my fourth or fifth range.
I was
Actually,
really surprised.
I think Chris was actually the one who is saying that she should be in the last one. But also, I think also thinking about it, Clark was actually the bottom twice. So I
Yeah.
think May was like, you know what? Maybe we don't want Clark to suffer again, so just put Andrea there.
But here's the thing, and I'm gonna take that pen out. Remember I said I'm gonna hold that pen. When
Yeah,
Yes.
Chris was talking,
I've been holding it over here for you.
thank you. You can pull it out. When Chris says, um, I'm gonna put Angelina down because she didn't own up to saying her question. That was her the question for 2 rounds. I was like, hello? Did your girl not just crawl into bed with you and tell you she ain't telling nobody that she asked that
I'm
Pepe
like,
question?
come on now,
Come
like
on now, because
Okay.
that's not you can't do
I said you
that.
can't put somebody in there for not saying. At least she did say it 2 rounds later. Your girl didn't say it at all.
At all.
But he ain't trying to do all that, I guess.
So
I
Mhm.
so
agree.
he should have left Gina alone.
I
And
agree.
Exactly.
like, don't do that to my girl because I like Gina. I like
I
her.
love
I love
Andrina.
her.
But so when it finally comes out, by the way, Brianna, you get your tens because you
Oh,
look amazing. You look
Ariana
amazing.
Madix.
She
Mm-hmm.
looked amazing.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Kamorian.
Yes.
Favorite Ariana Madix look so far this season, because Lana and I are split.
Okay. Oh, I think Michael. I think my favorite one is it's between two exactly. I gotta see. I think it was. I think the one in the beginning. I think it was. It was. I think. Remember that blindfold challenge that they did? I like that one.
Yes.
And
Oh, that one was good.
then I think. I believe. I think it was this one, or I believe. I think it was the recoupling one was my favorite. The recoupling one. No, oh no, the one I think when she's like, "Oh, you're going to cast some more." That one, the day one.
Thank you.
That
The
one. I like that
beautiful,
one.
fabulous gold mermaid
Yeah,
situation that she was in.
that's my favorite one. That's the one I like.
I rest
That
my
was sick.
case.
That
Does
was
not matter. This was
sickening.
not a debate. This was our personal opinion. I
That,
liked her red dominatrix look when she came in with the red and the flowy cape and the black
oh,
wig.
oh
That
yeah,
was
the black
my
man.
favorite look.
That was kind, but the
That was
mermaid
my favorite
that
look.
mermaid one, that
I never
detail and
said the
that.
mermaid look was ugly, so relax. You're doing too much, Huda. You're doing too much, Huda. Calm down. Anyway, so
I'm
yeah,
the winner.
winner
I
of
win. Thank you,
what?
Kamorian.
Winner of what? What did you win? Oh,
Everything.
delusions are rapid in this place. Oh my god, delusions are rapid. That could
Hey,
have juice
someone needed to break the tie.
there was no tie. These were
Yes, there
opinions.
was.
These were opinions. Oh my!
Opinions.
Somebody, write it down. Stop
Don't
drinking
you
the
get
Huda
it?
juice.
It's my opinion. Don't
Stop
you get it?
drinking the Huda juice.
Oh no, fuck
Jesus.
no, God no.
No, no, no,
Oh my
no, no hood
gosh.
array over here. No hood array over here. No hood array over here. Nope.
No.
Oh my
I'm
gosh. Okay.
crazy. Nope.
I need some of my
Wild.
papaya juice. Give me some of my
Yeah,
papaya
well,
juice.
because
I'll
you're
take
drinking
that.
the Huda juice right now. Delusions of
No, baby.
grandchild. Ooh,
Absolutely not.
No.
Ooh,
that's
no.
very bitter
I
for me.
rebuke that. I rebuke that.
Look
No,
real
thank
gas.
you.
I don't
No,
Okay.
like
oh, ma'am.
it.
Let's get into this. Let's move because we do get they have the bottom, they put everybody in order, and we find out that the bottom three girls and the bottom three guys are vulnerable and in danger of going home. And so I was not shocked at all by these bottom three, except for one. Well, I was shocked by two. I wasn't shocked by two of them. Grayson and Jaden, I kind of figured because they got crap edits. We hardly saw them. Jaden was with Austin, and nobody really wanted to listen to Austin talk, so we bypassed his conversations. Grayson and Pepe were purpled out of this entire edit. Now, Edrina, I was a little shocked by. I didn't think
Yeah.
people would put her at the bottom.
I
I was
was
like, what do you
gagged.
mean?
But I
What
don't
do you mean?
I don't know like if it was when it came to like the whole thing after like the heartbreak challenge when I think the whole thing with Huda, which I think people thought she was being fake because she was
Yeah,
like she was nodding to Huda, but then
yeah,
I could tell them what that maybe that was the reason. I
that could
don't
be
think
it.
she I don't probably think Andrea was actually agreeing with what Huda was saying. I don't think she was like, you know what I mean? I think she was just hearing the conversation. I don't think that
Right.
what she was doing. But like I was like, oh, but like this, I was like, it's kind of realistic because those two, I mean, cast some more girls, no, not much camera time, realistic. But like there was like Adriana, like I'm like shocked about that one. I really thought about. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad though. It was from like a previous voting because let's be real, if Shirley or Landry would have been on bottom two, I would have been swinging. I would have been swinging.
It
But
wasn't gonna be. Yeah, I would have been sick if it was any other way.
so I'm glad it wasn't based on like on Tuesday. So I'm happy. So I'm happy with that.
Well, it was last night's voting. It was the
No,
most recent set of. It was the most recent set of voting that just happened.
no, it was
I don't
in
think
that poll. All
yeah,
that was
because
from that poll.
even when it came to the rankings, like let's be real,
Wasn't there just favorite boy, favorite girl voting that
no,
just happened?
that was the opposite. I think because let's be real, if it was based on Tuesday,
It was Tuesday.
especially when talking about Zach, no shade. Let's be real, the bottom boys all no sure what part have been either Zach, Ace, Taylor, Austin. Those would have been the likely four. Who would have been danger?
Well, and
after
three of them
Tuesday.
were. I mean, two of them were up there.
Two. I mean, two for them. Like it's obvious those two.
TJ
But,
wouldn't have
like,
been there if it was later.
yeah, it was based on Tuesday night. It would have been a different outcome. It would have
But
been.
here's the three girls: Jaden, Grayson, and Adrena. And then our bottom three boys were Austin,
I was satisfied,
TJ,
no
and
shade.
Taylor. Oh, look, I'm not
I was
mad at
satisfied with the
this.
boys.
I'm not mad at this.
I
Look,
mean,
if we gonna get Trumpies up out of here, then get the Trumpies up out of
right.
here. I'm not really mad.
I mean, all tea
I
no shade. TJ is like boring to me. All tea no shade. I was like, also no tea no shade. The way he came out, the way he was shading them girls, them kisses. I'm like, maybe that's payment for them kisses. What you said, those ratings from those kisses from last time. So I mean, I was happy. I really didn't care who was
wasn't.
going home.
Well, here's the results, though, and how they had each Islander was to stand behind the person that they wanted to save. They could only save one. Only one person was gonna be saved. So we was getting rid of a bunch of bodies today, and I was like, yes, thank you. But for the girls, Jaden got saved by Brian and Chris. Chris, I didn't understand, but then I was like, he probably did that for his boy Brian. So okay, sure. Elon was the only person to stand behind Grayson, and I side-eyed the hell out of Peppy. I was like, Peppy, you couldn't even give her a save?
Like,
No.
You couldn't even get, you did this girl
Brian, you couldn't
dirty.
even do that to Andrina.
right? It's
Well,
like,
I
he
get
did
why
say it was
Brian
one.
did. No, because
I get why Brian didn't do it.
Because Andrina was the one who told Brian the second they got back from Casa that she is like, I'm gonna still explore other people. She was trying to explore Pepe. She wanted to explore Pepe. She was like, so I'm going to explore everybody. She gave him 2 days. She did it right away. So he had time to go and have conversations with Jaden.
Mhm.
He was
And
trying to build the connection with Jaden.
Yeah.
So I understand why he did that.
and
Mhm.
also I feel like at that point, because Brian went like decently far in, I feel
Mhm.
like it might have also been strategy, because I feel like he knew that Andrina probably was going to have a good number of votes and have a good shot at staying. So A, putting it on Jaden because he's got the connection there. B, pulling a
Mhm.
vote away from Andrina potentially because he's also got the connection with Amaya to
Mhm.
explore as well, just in case Jaden
Mhm.
doesn't make it. I think it was threefold here for
Yeah.
Mr. Brian.
Yeah. I think Elon picks Grayson because nobody was standing behind her, and he wanted to make sure that somebody was standing behind her.
That was sweet.
I'm
That was sweet of
happy
him.
for that.
That
I
was
am
sweet.
happy for that.
At least she had one person behind. Like it would have been worse. It was like nobody.
Everyone had someone, and I
Everybody
was
had
really
somebody,
happy
and
about
I
Yeah.
appreciate. Yeah, I really like that. And then Adrena, of course, had not Sierra, Shelly, Amaya, and Huda all stood
it. Yeah,
behind
not
Adrena.
Sierra.
Not, no,
We gonna get
we
to
gonna
Not
talk
her.
about.
We
let's
we
Talk
gonna
wake
get
that up for a
we're gonna
second.
get
We're gonna
to
talk about
her.
her because here we go.
Not
Austin had Alandria because apparently they're besties in the villa. He needed one person behind him. I'm not mad at that. She don't know what's happening outside of the villa, so I can't get mad at that. We'll see. Um, TJ, Iris, of course, and then Zach with the K. I'm
Just
like,
Zach.
okay. Yeah, because the other one's gone. But I always like Zach with the K. But other Zach is
I
gone,
would have
yeah.
preferred the other Zach to be here.
And then Taylor has Ace, um, Clark,
I would hope so.
Pepe,
Mhm.
Nick,
of course.
and Sierra.
I'm like, here's when they came in, because let's be real. When it came to the whole episode, we did not see her at all. until this moment.
Production is clawing her. I think
Well,
they
I
about to
call
get
her
her up out the
out.
villa. They about to get her
Yeah,
out that villa because she,
yeah.
for her comments that came up,
Hmm.
she about to
Hmm.
get out that villa, and they are moving the production are editing her out of this program as much as they can. We only saw her one time in this program before this, and that was when the text happened and they showed her talking to Taylor.
Oh
We
no,
ain't
and then
getting
we saw her
nothing
in the Maybelline ad, and that was
in the
it.
Maybelline ad. Yeah, yeah. But then I'm like, you sat there that whole time, and you sat there that whole time, and you watched where the numbers were going, and you go and stand behind Taylor,
Because you want to be by her
baby.
man. This,
This this
Oh,
this
no,
oh,
is
oh,
this
oh,
is
oh,
this was
oh,
more
oh.
than that. This was calculated.
calculated as well too. Cause let's be
This is
real.
this was her
Hmm.
letting Landra know we are not friends. I know what you did. I'm very uncomfortable with what you did to my man, and I don't like it. So I'm going to make your stay in this
Yeah,
villa uncomfortable, like my stay is uncomfortable with you here. So I'm gonna keep your
yeah,
person here. She is mad at Olandria for exploring with Nick,
Hmm.
and she wanted to show that with this power move to keep
yeah.
Taylor here.
Hmm.
And Olandria knows exactly what it is.
Exactly
Oh
what
yeah.
it is. Also, Iris too. Cause I like also know shit. Cause
You could have
apparently
stood by
Iris was,
TJ.
and I was your close friend. So you did not sit behind TJ. It's like,
But you
oh,
know that Iris and TJ was the next strongest couple to you and Nick. And
exactly,
so you wanted to get rid of the
exactly,
competition because
exactly.
you're trying to win the money. But baby girl, what you don't know is
No,
you will never come close to that 100K. You don't even know how far your stock is plummeting right now. You will never come close to this 100K. But she could have went and stood by her girl Iris. It wouldn't have mattered. Taylor still would have won. He still would have stayed. You could have
it was
supported your
obvious.
girl Iris so Iris could still be by your side. If I was Iris, I'd be like, you couldn't even stand by me, and I'm supposed to be your, and you want me, you just go let my connection just
Mm.
go.
Oh, oh,
You should,
oh, 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 okay.
okay, okay,
Okay, all
okay,
right, all
okay,
right.
okay, girl. I
Oh, oh,
see.
okay.
Mhm,
I see. You won't even come stand beside me, even though he was gonna go home, and I know
mhm.
that. But you couldn't even come stand beside me to say, "Girl, I got your back."
Well,
Oh,
that is
okay.
just,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
oh, that just,
It,
this,
Uh,
oh.
it was gross. So at this point, our dumped Islanders are Austin, TJ, Adrena, Jaden, and Grayson.
uh,
It was. I'm glad we got a lot of people out. I was like, I would have rather Adrena or TJ stayed. To be honest,
I would
Hmm.
have rather had Andrina stay. She's the only person here. Like, I really like Jaden. I really like Grayson.
Hmm.
Andrina's the only person here that I would have liked to see stay.
yeah, yeah.
But you know what? Austin is God.
Can we
Woo!
celebrate that?
Woo!
Can we
Oh my
celebrate that?
God. Let me tell you, we've been so close. I don't know how many times.
We've been trying to get him out of this villa for the longest time. For the
Oh my
Thank
longest
God.
time. Thank
you.
God. We fought. And even when I've been saying he might not be as bad as certain things, Austin, I'm like, he's not cool. I you still what you are. You still a Trumpian. You still gotta go. We
We can't
never forget.
act
I
like
never
pussy.
forget. I never forget.
Never ever forget. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad for Iris no shade, but also no shade. I was like, well, my Iris, you know, if you want to go, you can't
You
go.
can go too.
You have the option to. You don't have to stay.
But Kamorian, I keep trying to tell
But we
you I love my
understand we are on
angel.
Brandale Island. But I'm just saying,
Thank you.
personally, personally,
And we
personally,
go act
I,
like and we
I
gonna
mean,
act like I'm so in love and I'm
I mean,
you can
she
leave.
had the option to go. No one said you
You
can.
can
You had no one's forcing you to stay.
we could get both all the Trumpies out at the same time if she would have just left.
Yeah.
We didn't already
Oh, is
got the
she?
event. Oh yes, she is. All of them could leave.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, she is. All of them could go.
Oh,
We
I
could have
didn't
got them
know.
all out the door at the same time if she would have just left. But no, she is here to play the game. So I get it, Iris. I get it. You weren't that in love with that man. Y'all just got together a couple days ago, for real, for real. So I get it. But
Mhm.
baby, don't sit here and be boohoo and sobbing, and you ain't gonna walk out the door with him. I said the same thing about Hannah with Charlie, and I'm gonna say the same thing about you. Don't be all this boohoo
Mhm.
and ha ha ha, and you ain't gonna walk out that door.
Exactly.
You could go.
And
You
guess
could go
what?
at any moment.
Has Hannah had contact with Charlie after she left? Hell the fuck
No,
no.
no.
I saw her live with Jalen and Jeremiah. She has not contacted that man ever since she came out of the villa. Let's
She
be
is
real.
not trying to.
Not
I
trying
told
to.
y'all. That's
And
my
guess
Not
what?
girl.
trying
She's
to.
She ain't
here.
gonna get with Pepe
Confirmation, y'all.
either.
I was in the live with them. Confirmation. She was not
And
contacting
she is
him.
not gonna get with Pepe either. Let's keep it a buck. She's
She's back
not.
here in the desert. She is thriving. She's here getting her strawberry matcha, and we love her for it.
Hmm.
Fun fact:
Hannah,
the place that she just did a whole tour of getting her strawberry matcha. I get my weed right across the street. So we love to see it. We love to see it.
Lana with
she's
the-
just like
I have
she's
close proximity to people on current reality TV, Lana. Let me have this one.
didn't even say anything. I
Your
said
eyes say everything that need to be said, my
that
love.
I'm looking down trying to pick this whatever this is off my hand. What are you talking about? Y'all got to stop trying to read folks' looks because I was not interested in what you were talking about. Your weed person from across the street from where she get her strawberry matcha. That meant nothing to me. That meant nothing to me. I'm like, okay, let me pick this thing off my finger because that was
You
more
I don't
pertinent.
said
know.
what you said
I
without
said what I
saying
said.
what
I
needed to
did.
be said.
I said, what is this on my hand? Let me get it off. That is what I said. Like, come on now. You think I'm
I'm
singing
With
just
about
that
you and your
being
saying.
volume?
said,
Bring that.
thank you so much for joining us here today for this beautiful recap of Love Island. Uh
The vibe?
Love Island.
Not you. I'm still on this whole matcha weed thing. And you talking about my looks.
I was gonna say this though, 'cause we know I know tonight's episode is not gonna
The vibe?
happen, but Sunday or the tonight trailer, and I don't see a movie night in the sneak peek. I don't see here no
It's
announcement.
happening Sunday. I think it's gonna be
Thank you,
Sunday.
God. Thank you, Jesus.
I think,
Because
I think it's gonna be Sunday on Monday.
but that shit better get it. But I said
Unless,
it.
unless they decide not to do it and have that mailbox challenge be the trick, the
Hmm.
what they call it take place of movie night.
Yeah.
So it's a possibility we don't get a movie night this year. I think that's because I think they have at least two more bombshells to come into the villa, which is gonna be crazy. So I think they're gonna either bring them in Sunday or Monday. Unless if we don't have that, movie night will be there. If we do have movie night, then the bombshells will come after that. But we still got too many people in this villa, and we got to get some more folks out this villa. There's too many bodies in the villa.
They got to next week or next Tuesday or
Exactly.
Wednesday. Not
Exactly.
Wednesday, one on Tuesday.
Exactly. So I don't know what's gonna happen. If the people who the rumors of the bombshells are who they say it is, I'm gonna be very excited. If it's somebody else, okay, great, we'll see. But I'm excited. I need a movie night. I'm with you, Kamorian. I need movie night to
I
happen.
agree with that. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
hope they don't play in our face and don't give us a movie night because I will be pissed. But
With how successful it was last year, I doubt it. Like, I feel like we're gonna get one,
we
right?
I,
have to.
I think we need to. It's needed right now because they're not pretty much. It's giving nothing else. It,
Right.
I'm drained.
It has to happen. But whatever they give us tonight, we'll be back here tomorrow because we have Soul Ties Live every Friday and Saturday at 6:10 Eastern ish. So join us for that. And so we'll be back here tomorrow talking about Love Island. And then we'll come back again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern ish. And then, of course, if you are jumping into if you're jumping across the pond to the UK, Love Island, we are here every Tuesday and Friday talking about No Invite Needed Live. So just join us on those things. Our schedule might change for No Soul Ties Live on next week. So we'll let you all know on Monday what the schedule change might be when we figure it out, but
Yeah.
we'll be figuring all that stuff out. Join us for all that stuff. Subscribe to this channel on your way out if you haven't already done that. Comment below. Let us know what you think about Love Island. Where your head's at, who you like, who you don't like. Are you about as done with this as we are? Um
Please, please, I need it to be over.
we're about done. We're about done with this. Follow us on all of our channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon. Join our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and where you can get your merch at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. You can follow the three of us on all of our socials too. They're down there as well. But we're gonna get out of here. So do, 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 do. Cheers, y'all.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.